U.S. visas versus Cuban doctors, breathing democratic socialist fire in the 1970s. Then Prime Minister Michael Manley declared, Jamaica will go through life on our feet and not on our knees. That was at the height of the ideological struggle between East and West, which played out on Jamaican soil between the People's National Party, PNP, backed by Fidel Castro's Cuba, and the Jamaica Labor Party, JLP, supported by the conservative United States government. The current threat by the U.S. administration to cut visas for government officials and their immediate family members from countries participating in the Cuban medical missions to poor countries is arguably the sternest test of relations between Washington and Kingston since the 1970s. Indeed, Jamaica, along with a number of other Caribbean nations which participate in the Cuban medical missions, is squarely on the horns of a dilemma. We are longtime friends of both Cuba and the U.S., our most important trading partner and second home to many migratory Jamaicans. Of course, we hardly expect Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness to be as combative as Mr. Manley in the 1970s. Not because Jamaicans should not go through life on their knees, but for the fact that these are times that call for much greater tact and diplomatic finesse in the face of President Donald Trump's America First agenda. There are obviously no easy answers, because Cuba tugs at the heartstrings for all the good it has done for Jamaica during some of our worst days economically, at great sacrifice to the Cuban people. In addition to the nurses and doctors, the country has a popular eye care program, has built several schools like G.C. Foster College and Jose Marti High, and provided scholarships, primarily in medicine. Jamaican Foreign Minister Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith told journalists that the presence of 400 Cuban medical personnel here is of importance to our healthcare system. Follow for more on Jamaican culture.
I have another little news here that I wanted to bring out, but this is for the Caribbean community, more specifically my little island of Jamaica, but it's for all Caribbean, islands or places. So it seems like Donald Trump recently announced a visa sanction against any government that's utilizing Cuba's overseas medical mission. So just for those of you guys that live here in America, so Cuba is really one of the main nation out there that help the Caribbean, whether it's Jamaica. I want to say, I don't want to misspeak, so I'm just going to speak for Jamaica now because that's what I know about. For years, Cuba would go to Jamaica with a medical team and either try to educate or, try to help with any kind of, medical technology. Or even some of the doctors are there actually, working with sick citizens. So Cuba is really the nation that helps the Caribbean on any medical field, period. All right. So now Donald Trump is putting out there to all nation that works with Cuba that he's going to put sanction on the government visa. So basically he will put restrictions on the visa, whether the government, I'm going to speak for Jamaica again. So Andrew Holness, him and his administration, maybe they won't be able to come to America, put sanction on the visa like that or not issue any new visa. I don't think it's to the citizen of Jamaica, but I'm not sure. But I know for sure it's for the government, of Jamaica or other islands. I don't want to just say Jamaica. I'm just speaking to Jamaica specifically because that's what I know about. Because that's where I'm from. So I know the history of, the Cubans coming and helping in the medical field. So I just want to educate you guys on what's happening there and do your own research so you guys know what Andrew Holness is doing here, because I'm not sure where the help else is going to be coming from if they ban Cuba for helping medically in Jamaica. This will be devastating for the island. Devastating. And this is very selfish of Donald. Clearly, Donald Trump does not care about black or brown people. I never thought I'd say that, but I'm going to say it right now. And words of Kanye West, even though I cannot stand that man, but right now, Donald Trump does not care about brown or black people. The idea that you're going to put sanction and visas for these nation that's getting help medically from the only place that will help them? Donald Trump, as Jamaican would say, SYM. My Jamaicans know what I'm talking about that. I'm not going to say it here to disrespect, but SYM all day, every day to you, Donald Trump and your administration. Anyway, my little islands, I'm just educating you guys. Please be aware and also do your own research to see what your local government is doing about this, because this is you guys' health. I don't live in Jamaica. I haven't been there for years. Yes, that's where I'm from, but I haven't been there in years. So you guys take what you want to take away from this and do your research to see what your local government is doing, because it's your health. Have a blessed day.
Dear Mr. Prime Minister of Jamaica, never thought I would do this, sir, but here I am from Canada, writing you a letter. Hopefully you will hear it. Dear Mr. Prime Minister, I hope this message finds you well. I am a humble individual with no high standing, but I feel compelled to reach out to you during these uncertain times. I've been closely following the recent developments concerning the American president's stance on the Cuban doctors, and it is disheartening to witness the pressure being placed on the Caribbean islands. However, I have noticed that there are still some nations willing to stand by these dedicated doctors who have done so much to save countless lives. Now, despite the concern raised regarding the funding of the Cuban regime, we must not overlook the immense contributions these doctors have made in healthcare, especially the underserved areas. You know, their work has been invaluable, and it is my hope that you will continue to support them, standing tall against external pressures. These doctors are not only highly skilled, but also driven by compassion. Their presence here in the Caribbean has undeniably made a difference, and I'm sure you agree. I encourage you to keep faith in what is right. As it is written in Psalms 94, the Lord is our refuge and our defense. We trust that God will guide us through this challenge, and He will not allow the wicked to prosper forever. Jamaica is a beautiful island, and I believe that if you focus on creating more opportunities for our people, we can ensure a prosperous future for all Jamaicans. Now let us work together to create an environment where our citizens can thrive without feeling the need to seek opportunities elsewhere. Mr. Prime Minister, I stand with you. We all stand with you. And we hope and pray that you will stand firm during this difficult times. May you continue to lead with wisdom and courage. And don't be afraid to refer to the Holy Bible. And as I will remind you, Psalms 94, it tells us He is our refuge and our defense. I trust that this message will reach you. I trust that you will, I'm sure you're going through a tough time, but we, the Jamaican people, even though I'm not living in Jamaica, I've been here since, my mom, took us here, and I've been here. It's my home, but we're all going through something, Mr. Prime Minister, and I trust and hope that you will find courage in my message, and that all Jamaicans abroad, we stand with you, and we are going to stand with our Cuban doctors.
Let us be clear. The Cuban doctors in Jamaica have been incredibly helpful to us. Jamaica has a deficit in health personnel, primarily because many of our health personnel have migrated to other countries.
What's up guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel once again. My name is Dash Lifestyle. Kindly for watching me for the first time, remember to subscribe, like, share and also comment. So guys, in today's video I want us to watch this video from Jamaican Prime Minister Mr. Andrew Holness. He has come out and shut down the United States Secretary Marco Rubio a request because United States it was threatening Jamaican Prime Minister and other Caribbean country to shut down the Cuban doctors, not to do business with Cuban doctors, not to support Cuban doctors. But Jamaican Prime Minister and other Caribbean Prime Minister, they have come out and send a warning to the United States, telling them to stay away from Caribbean affairs and not to control some countries in the Caribbean. So kindly guys, I want you to watch this video and also you'll be seeing the reaction from Jamaicans, what they had to say after Jamaican Prime Minister Mr. Andrew Holness, he has shut down and turned down the request from United States Secretary Marco Rubio. So kindly guys, watch this video till the end, then I'll be back with more comment.
Up first this evening, as Caribbean leaders continue to respond to the threat by the United States to revoke their visas over alleged exploitation of Cuban medical missions, the government has indicated its intention to continue Jamaica's long-standing Cuban Medical Cooperation Program.
The government said in its review of the program, it has not found any evidence that it involves human trafficking. Details in this report.
Caribbean prime ministers have been vocal about their position on the alleged exploitation of Cuban medical missions. This was President of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Ralph Gonsalves, at a meeting in Portland recently.
Does anybody expect that to go because I want to keep a visa, that I would let 60 persons from the poor and working people to die? It will never happen.
In his 4-hour-long speech on Thursday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness did not address the issue, which public commentator Jermaine Barrett believes is critical in this time.
We did not get a strong and a defiant position from the Prime Minister. I think the Prime Minister, of course, is a bit of a strategist, is a pragmatist, and he's trying to work this thing through to Jamaica's benefit.
The government's position came on Thursday, but not from Prime Minister Holness. Instead, Foreign Affairs Minister Kamina Johnson-Smith.
Our structured process of review and engagement is progressing well, and we remain confident in the integrity of this program. We continue to engage diplomatically, including discussions which I held with the Cuban foreign minister, the current head of the U.S. Embassy, with whom both Minister Tufton and I and our teams met. And of course, as between CARICOM foreign ministers, as you would be aware, we have had discussions. We've exchanged perspectives, and we are seeking to ensure the best understanding and outcomes of this matter.
In a statement, Senator Johnson-Smith said a review of the program was initiated well before international scrutiny started. She insists improvements will be made to its administration.
Given that the MOU had expired last year, the government of Jamaica had already begun a review process even before any international concerns were raised. So while we have identified a few areas for alignment with our own overseas labor programs and how they are administered, we are confident that the Cuban program is a legitimate bilateral cooperation program, not an example of trafficking.
Jamaica's medical cooperation program with Cuba has been in place since 1976 and has operated under a memorandum of understanding upheld by successive administrations. More than 400 Cuban nurses and doctors are working on the island. Anthony Lug, TVJ News.
This is not about the provision of medical assistance. We have no problem with medical assistance. We have no problem with doctors. But I'm just talking about this program in general, how it's operated around the world. And how it's operated around the world is that basically the doctors are not paid. They basically operate as forced labor.
Let us be clear. The Cuban doctors in Jamaica have been incredibly helpful to us. Jamaica has a deficit in health personnel, primarily because many of our health personnel have migrated to other countries. We are, however, very careful not to exploit the Cuban doctors who are here. We ensure that they are treated within our labor laws and benefit like any other worker. So any characterization of the program by others certainly would not be applicable to Jamaica. We are ensuring that our program complies with all the international laws and standards to which we are a party to.
This matter with the Cubans and the nurses should tell us everything that we need to know. Barbados does not currently have Cuban medical staff or Cuban nurses, but I will be the first to go to the line and to tell you that we could not get through the pandemic without the Cuban nurses and the Cuban doctors. I will also be the first to tell you that we paid them the same thing that we pay Bajans, and that the notion, as was peddled not just by this government in the US, but the previous government, that we were involved in human trafficking by engaging with the Cuban nurses was fully repudiated and rejected by us. Now, I don't believe that we have to shout across the seas, but I am prepared, like others in this region, that if we cannot reach a sensible agreement on this matter, then if the cost of it is the loss of my visa to the US, then so be it. But what matters to us is principles. And I have said over and over that principles only mean something when it is inconvenient to stand by it. Now, we don't have to shout, but we can be resolute. And I therefore look forward to standing with my CARICOM brothers. I wish I could say brothers and sisters, but brothers, to be able to ensure that we explain that what the Cubans have been able to do for us, far from approximating itself to human trafficking, has been to save lives and limbs and sight for many a Caribbean person.
We rely a lot for our health care delivery on certain specialists who over the decades we have obtained from India, from the Philippines, sometimes from Africa, and mainly from Cuba. Out of the blue now we are being called human traffickers because we hire technical people who we pay top dollar equal to local rates. But we are now being accused of taking part in the program where people are being exploited. That's somebody's interpretation. And of course, there are local people here encouraging them to take away our US visas. Today, I just came back from California. And if I never there in my life, I will ensure that the sovereignty of Trinidad and Tobago is known to its people and respected by all.
So the US is putting sanctions on any country and restrictions on any country that is working with Cuban health workers, right? Now let me tell y'all something, okay? As of intention, right? And I know for a majority of other CARICOM countries, Cuba plays a vital part in the health of the Caribbean. Cuba has some of the best medical care, but if you didn't know, the doctors and the nurses from Cuba will actually work in other Caribbean countries. So they work at one of our centers that do like hemodialysis. That's something that we can't offer, without them. We're a small country. And even they'll perform like eye surgery, other surgeries as well for doctors or specialists that we may not have. There's a Cuban doctor that may be able to offer that, right? And I know Trinidad works with them as well, Grenada works with them as well, Jamaica works with them as well. And so the US has basically said, okay, if these countries continue to work with Cuba, we're going to take away the visa of the prime ministers. So they can't come to the US or whatever. And basically, the prime minister, the PM of Barbados, shout out my girl, and the comrade, Ralph, okay? They were like, okay, well, you do what you gotta do. We're going to do what we gotta do. But we're not going to stop relations with Cuba. US is wanting to say we trafficking the people. This is a partnership. Just because you and Cuba they don't like each other that don't have nothing to do with us. And for us, for the sanctions, like, we actually get like a couple medical scholarships a year for our students to go to medical school in Cuba. They have to like learn Spanish and stuff. But basically, I love that the Caribbean is standing up. They're like, listen, you do what you gotta do, friend, but we are not stopping relations with Cuba. So basically, you know, Trump and them trying to threaten the Caribbean, and the Caribbean is like, you about to learn something today. Ralph? Okay. Ralph, yes, stand on business with this. We talk about this specifically, okay? Everybody?
I make that quick video here before I start work. Now I observe over the last few days where me and Motley from Barbados say she willing to give up her visa rights and her, you know, privilege to go to US and them thing there. Because she'll stand up with Cuba and she'll go against the giant America. Now, as per usual, those Jamaicans take it up on them head. We hear me, Doc?
Hey, Doc.
All's good?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, those Jamaicans pick it up now and I run with it. Say, Andrew for stand up to the US and Andrew for do this. Now, Barbados is about 320,000 people that can fit in a Portmore. Right? Andrew Holness is his own Prime Minister and him in charge about 3.5 million people. You understand me? Plus the diaspora, because we have to include the diaspora, you know. They help about 11 million people. Now, why Andrew to side with Cuba against our greatest trading partner? Remittance carried more money than any other thing in Jamaica. And our greatest remittance come from the United States of America. We have to choose the battles wisely, right? So if we have to cut off Cuba and continue along the growth path, we have to look about our interests. Cuba have to look about for them interests. We can't fight Cuba back for them. Or we can get engulfed in one geopolitical war with Cuba and America. Again, like what happened in the 70s, right? Andrew have to look about his people and that him do. You have to smart and know the way forward. We are dealing with a petty president, right? We are dealing with a petty president in the US. So we have to know what we are doing. Jamaica is Jamaica. America, Barbados are Barbados, right? If Barbados wipe off of the map, put up a Barbados flag and ask people in the world, which flag is it? Nobody don't know that. Barbados is insignificant. I mean, the business who want vex. Jamaica have to deal with Jamaica and its future. We are rise now, right? We want to be a global superpower, and that's what Andrew Holness is aiming for. Please don't follow dunce people and talk about say we have stand up against America and side with Cuba. That have no benefit to you none at all. We need the Cuban doctors and we need the Cuban nurses. I think what we do, I get a credit line of maybe $2-3 billion US from China, right? Subsidize the medical facility more, medical industry more, and train more doctors here. You understand? Make it more affordable, right? And bring up the stock of doctors here. But this is not a very hard decision to make. Jamaica first. So if I cut off Cuba, we'll cut off Cuba. Simple. Listen, stop talk about say Andrew for this and Andrew for that. Me and Motley, right? If you do what me and Motley want to do, which is best for Barbados, if that she feel, fine. Andrew have to look on Jamaica's future. And we're not going to cut off USA for nobody at all. Anyway, third term loading. I'm out.
So guys, I hope you have watched that video from Jamaican Prime Minister coming out and stand firm with Cuban doctors, and also you have seen the reaction from Jamaican, because a majority of Jamaicans people they have been trying to send a message to their Prime Minister, telling the Prime Minister not to cut their relationship with Cuba. Cubans, they have been in Jamaica, they have been doing life saving in Jamaica, they have boosted healthcare in Jamaica, because we all know that Cubans, they have the best doctors in the world. When it comes to the healthcare Cubans, they are leading because they have best nurse. These people, they have good doctors. So Cubans doctors, they have been helping so much, so many people in the Caribbean, to a point whereby the United States, they are jealousy of Cuban doctors, because so many Caribbean countries, they are preferring to bring more Cuban doctors to help them by doing life saving to the people in the Caribbean. And because of that, also Cubans, they are benefiting because they are not doing a free job, because they are also being paid. And because of they are being paid, it has boosted also their country, Cubans, and that it is and because of that, the United States, they are very hungry to see how Caribbean's country, they are really doing business with Cubans doctor. And majority of the Caribbean leaders, they have come out and send a warning message to the United States. Why is it you guys, you are interfering with other countries' affair? Because for a very long time, we have seen United States, they have been threatening, especially this administration, Donald Trump administration. They have been sending warning to the black countries, not only the Caribbean country, to also the black countries. We have seen they have cut they have cut relationship with some of the African country. They have stopped US aid with some of the African and black countries. So this is to tell you that this United States, these people, they are ruining the relationship of the other country. Right now, they don't want countries in the Caribbean to do business with Cuban doctors. These people, how can you come and tell this country that you are not ruling? You can imagine. You know, these people, they have been used of controlling the leaders. They have been used of turning the leaders into puppet, telling the leaders to do exactly to do the decision that them they want, but not the country want. And majority of the now Caribbean leaders, they have standing firm and telling this United States that you cannot just threaten us, because the United States, they were threatening the Caribbean countries leader. If you are not going to cut the relationship with Cuban doctors, we are going to cancel your United States visa, you together with your family. So majority of the Caribbean leaders, they saw that it is very important for our people to have these doctors, because these Cuban doctors, they are helping our people. So you United States, you can go ahead and cancel our visa, because also there is no need of us going to United States. Yeah, because you guys, you are threatening us. Yeah, so majority of the Caribbean leaders have seen, they have come together and they have replied telling the United States Secretary Michael Rubio to you can go ahead and cancel our visa, but for us, our people, they are fast. The health and the life of our people, it is very fast to us. So for me, for that, today I can congratulate the Jamaican Prime Minister by standing firm with Cuban doctors and supporting Cuban doctors, and telling the United States that you can't control us anymore, because these people that threatening so much countries that we are going to cut your trading benefit. Also, they were telling that they are going to cut trading benefit from the Caribbean countries. You can imagine how these people, they really want to control the Caribbean leaders. And this is and for so many years, these people, they have been using all these things to control our leaders. But right now, our leaders, they are now standing firm by the rights of and protect the rights of their people, because the same United States, we black people, we can't control United States. Yeah, we can't just tell them to not do business with Cuba, not to do business with Russia, not do business with other country. But why is it for them? They are seeing if they are superpower, they can determine what the other countries they can do. They can make decision for the other country. No, right now it is the 20th century, whereby the leaders, they know exactly what their people they want. Yeah, so for me, I can tell the United States that it is now the right time for you, United States, to run to control your own country. You can't control others' country. You can't interfere with other country other country relationship with other country. So for you, United States, just to work on our country. Right now, we have seen a majority of the white people, they are crying. Yeah, majority of the white people, they are crying. Life, it has become very hard in United States. We have seen there is a mass shooting. We have seen people that are losing their jobs. We have seen people, they cannot even afford right now basic necessity in United States. And yet these people, they are coming out and and threatening the Caribbean leaders. So for me, I want to tell the United States right now, you should stop controlling other leaders. yeah, if you guys, you don't want Cuban doctors, you just ban them in your own country, but not tell other Caribbean countries to ban because you don't want Cubans. No, this, we know Cubans, they are doing a good job in the Caribbean. They have been in Caribbean for more than 20 or 30 years. These people, they have been helping so much in the Caribbean. So for me, I'm still standing with Jamaican Prime Minister decision, telling the United States they are not going to end their relationship with Cuba. So you United States, you can just end your relationship with Cuba, but not Jamaica or any other Caribbean country ending their relationship. For a very long time, you guys, you have been turning our leaders to be puppet. You have been taking our resources from our black countries, and right now you still want to control our leaders. You still want our leaders to make decisions that you guys, you are giving, not our leaders they are giving. So we don't want you to control our government right now. So United States, just work on your country and stop interfering with a country's affairs with other country. So kindly guys, I don't want to talk too much. Subscribe if you haven't. Like this video, share, and also comment. See you on my next one. Bye bye.